In this video, you will learn how to use MAXIFS and MINIFS functions. They're both quite similar. In one case, you're selecting the highest value of a range of values, and in the other, you're selecting the lowest value in a range of values. Here's the data I have, and I have them color-coded, and you'll understand the color coding in a minute. But basically, we have each individual defined by their gender, their race, their socioeconomic status, and their SAT scores. So for gender, we have male and female. For race, we have black, white, Latino, other. 4 levels of race, 2 levels of gender. And for socioeconomic, we have low, medium, and high. So 3 levels there. And then the SAT scores vary by the individual. So what we want to do is to use these 3 criteria to define the max and min SAT scores. So I have the second table here, the selector table. So we have the 3 criteria. And for these criteria, you can use the drop-down menu, which is defined using, you go up here to data, data validation, and in here you can define the values in each of the drop-down table. Okay? I'm not going to go into how that's done right now, but I'll make another video about it. Okay? Here, you can decide whether you want male, female, or I guess I didn't need other here. It's just males and females. There are 2 levels. And then for the second criteria, you can select one of those. And the third criteria, you can select one of those. Okay? This 4th box is when you consider all 3 of these criteria. In the first case, we want the highest male SAT score. If you scan through here, you will see that the male with the highest score has 1299. In this case, you want the black student with the highest SAT score, and that's 1311. And for low socioeconomic, it's going to be 1311. When you combine all 3 of these, so when you're checking to see the black male student from low socioeconomic, so 1247 is the highest score from a student who checked these 3 criteria. And likewise, this is the lowest score for a student who is male, black, and low income. Now, let's look at the syntax of this function. And it works for MAXIFS and MINIFS. The syntax is the same. So first, you have the range of the scores. What is that dependent variable you're trying to get? It's going to be the SAT score, so it's red. The range for criteria 1 is going to be gender, so this is the entire range, so it's column A. The criterion is which level of gender are you focused on, whatever is in this box. So in this case, we're looking at males. Criterion range 2 is column B. Criterion 2 is whatever is in here, so it will be one of the 4 levels. Black, white, Latino, or other. Criterion range 3 is going to be column C. And then criterion 3 is going to be low, medium, or high socioeconomic. So that's the syntax of this function. For this score, we're only looking at 1 criterion. So it's the first criterion. The range is going to be column D. There it is. Criterion 1 range. We only have 1 criterion, so it's just the criterion range, we can call it, is going to be A. Criterion 1 is going to be G2, male. We look at the next one. The range is still D. Criterion range is B. The criterion is H2, black, in this case. We'll look at the third one. We're going to go DCI. DCI. Okay? And it's going to be the same thing in these guys here. So if you look at this equation here, is the same as here, except we're changing the function to MINIFS. So 1299 is the highest male, 615 is the lowest male, 1311 is the highest black, 615 is the lowest black, 1311 is the highest low income, 447 is the lowest low income. Now let's look at when you combine all 3 criteria. Your range is still D. Your range for criterion 1 is A, followed by criterion 1, which is G2, followed by the range for criterion 2, B, and then criterion 2, H2. The range for criterion 3 is C, and criterion 3, I2. So this value here, this 1247, is going to be the score for black male student of low income with the highest score. And this is the black male student of low income with the lowest score. And if we change this to, let's say, female, black female, low income, 1311. So that's it.